Welcome back to Control Alt Lead, where we talk to the people leading modern IT about what's moving in the market. This time, I'm talking to Bruna Pellicci, who's the CIO at law firm Linklaters. We talk about how IT is changing the legal sector, and that includes heavy use of generative AI and Linklaters' own legal chatbot, Layla. Before launching into my chat with Bruna, I want to get my apologies in early for the abrupt end to this episode. It was the very first one I recorded, and we're still finding our feet in the podcasting space. That said, there's still lots to learn here, so now I'll hand over to Bruna. Enjoy.
Bruna, thanks very much for joining me. I wonder if you could start off by just telling me a little bit about yourself and about Linklaters.
Yeah, so I've been working in IT for about 35 years now, so I'm getting a bit older. I started when I was 18 years old, straight out of school. I've done everything from being a trainee computer operator, software developer, project manager, head of applications, IT director, global IT director. And I joined Linklaters 5 years ago as CTO. I've done that role for about 4.5 years, and now I'm the CIO at Linklaters and responsible for the whole of technology in a team of about 300 people, providing centralized services across the firm to all of our lawyers and about 7,000 users.
Fantastic. And so you've been in the tech sector for long enough now that I think you probably have a pretty good grasp on what the big sort of tech stories are. Can you dig into that a little bit? What's important in legal tech right now?
So I think there's a huge pace of change at the moment, moving from more the boring on-prem solutions to moving towards cloud, and actually technology teams becoming more innovative teams, and actually being able to really get out there and experiment with Gen AI, and starting to help the business push some of the boundaries, looking at how we can adopt some of these tools that are still very early in their nature, and trying to understand how they may fully develop and land, working closely with suppliers on that.
You talked about this move to cloud. Is that quite widespread in legal? So teams can focus on their core competencies and sort of shift the managing the infrastructure and things to cloud providers?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it was quite widespread outside of legal, and now actually, everyone in legal is pretty much doing this now. And actually, why wouldn't you, I guess, when someone else can run those systems and be specialists in those systems for you? Which then kind of frees up the teams internally to be doing more of the value add work, more working with clients, and actually really exploring how you can use technology to be a game changer.
Yeah, so you've got a team of 300 people, and you're clearly doing more than just keeping the lights on.
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing lots of stuff, but we're again transitioning a lot of our things to cloud services, and we do all things from supporting the businesses, from HR systems to finance systems to billing systems. There's lots of the generic stuff you have to do that keep the business running, and then you've got the new layer of Gen AI, which we're experimenting at the moment with. We've got, I think, 5 or 6 minimal viable products that we're looking to build. We're experimenting with Copilot, and so it's having that right balance, because we can't keep the day-to-day running. You don't get the right to play in the new stuff. So you have to have the confidence of the business and of the firm to be able then to help them push forward.
Yeah. So I mean, Gen AI is the subject on everybody's lips right now, and has been since ChatGPT was launched in November 22. So let's talk about that a little bit. You've said you had several MVPs at the moment. Can you dig into those a little bit? Anything you can share?
I can share a few bits. I mean, probably not unusual, and like other organisations and other law firms, we are looking at Copilot. It's been rolled out to about 250 or 300 users at the moment, and we're looking at how we expand that across the firm. Looking at how that can be applied, and on the minimal viable products, plus also Copilot, we've created some mixed teams. So we've got technologists working with lawyers, working with process improvement people, and actually really looking at where can we apply the functionality, I guess, or what Gen AI brings, and actually how we can then turn that into products, mini products that we can point at at the type of work that we do. And we've got, I think, about 7 of those in play at the moment.
Fab. Before I ask you specifically about those products, I want to just come back to Copilot, because I have well-known issues with Microsoft branding because they are calling everything Copilot at the moment. But there's 2 different versions. Mainly, there's the Copilot for Windows and Copilot, I think it's called for Office, which one will help you change Windows settings and one will help you write emails and documents and that kind of thing. Which one, or are you using both? Which one are you using?
Copilot for Office. So
for Office, yeah.
For Office. So we're still evaluating it. We've been on the early adopters program with Microsoft, which has been great. Working very closely with the Copilot product team at Microsoft, and our team here meet with Microsoft, I think, once a month with that product team, alongside other law firms as well, giving feedback as to what works well, what doesn't work well. And it's great because you can record a meeting and it will type it off for you. It still does have some challenges, but the majority of that meeting will be typed up correctly. Sometimes there are hallucinations, it hasn't understood you properly. But there's lots of different things, even slightly aside from Copilot, when the reason why I'm talking about how important it is to go to now more the Microsoft, I guess, cloud solutions is because of the pace of change and the development of those solutions and the new features coming in all the time. With Exchange Online and email, I received an email the other day in French, and I opened it up and immediately I was prompted, would I like to translate this into English by just pushing a button? So it's just a whole of ease now of using that technology. It's almost moving from what we used to on our mobile phones, to access it via the laptops, which has always been a challenge.
Absolutely. So let's come back to some of these other Gen AI MVPs that you've been implementing. You've got a chatbot called Layla. So let's talk about that a little bit. What does Layla do?
So Layla allows you to, I guess, what will it do for you? You can ask Layla questions. It will help you answer things. It will help you produce some slides if you would like it to. And actually, it's still very experimental, but it's very much in that space of, I guess, the open AI space, but actually going out there, and we've created an interface, if you like, which will help our users interact and experiment. It's being used by several thousand users across the firm, and I won't tell you one thing that it does because it does lots of things. So, but it is being applied in different ways to help get ideas for when you're creating emails, maybe for helping to create slide decks, for helping with presentations, lots of different things.
So from other sort of C-level execs that I've talked to in the legal sector, one of the things that they're really excited about using AI for, or rather what the lawyers in their firms are really excited about using AI for, is reading legal documents and summarizing them. Is that something that's also happening at Linklaters?
It is. It's something that we're looking at. We have lots of information. We have, like other law firms, hundreds of millions of documents. And that's one area that we're looking at is with Gen AI, and with all the data that we have, how can we turn that into more valuable information that can become informative more quickly? So how can you use these tools to rapidly look through hundreds of thousands of documents to give you some research information back, to give you some knowledge back, rather than having to open the document, read it, and go through it piece by piece? So that is absolutely an area we're looking at, and an area where I think Gen AI will be most powerful.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Bruna, and best of luck with it.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Control Alt Lead. If you, like Bruna, are doing something really interesting with AI or IT in general, please reach out. I would love to hear about it. Tune in again next time when I'll be talking to Apollo Therapeutics Head of IT, Jeremy Cooper, about something every professional deals with at some point in their career: stress, anxiety, and burnout. Just as importantly, we talk about how to deal with them both in your team and in yourself as a leader. It really is essential listening. Now, please do leave a review and head over to computing.co.uk for more IT insights. See you soon.